My name is Hannah Miller, 29 years old, and I thought I'd finally earned a place at my family's table, until my father's retirement dinner turned into my worst nightmare. I'd spent years trying to please him, but that night, everything shattered. The dinner was at a fancy hotel with chandeliers and waiters gliding around. My dad, George, 60, stood tall in his suit, proud of his 30-year career in construction. My mom, Susan, smiled beside him, and my brother, Mark, 32, bragged about his new job. My husband, James, 30, held my hand, his quiet strength calming me. I wore a simple dress, my graphic design work paying for it, but Dad's eyes narrowed when he saw me. Midway through his speech, he pointed at me. "Hannah, you've been a disappointment," he said. "Get out." The room went silent, forks clinking stopped. I froze, tears burning. James stood up, his voice firm, but Dad cut him off with a glare. I grabbed my bag and left, rain hitting me outside. This morning my phone buzzed, 3 calls from them. Something felt wrong, a memory stirring. They didn't know it yet, but I was about to stand tall. Growing up, I was the quiet one. Mark was the star. Athletic, loud, always getting new gear and praise. I loved drawing and designing, but Dad called it useless. At 10, I won an art contest. He said, "Mark's the real winner." By 15, I asked for art supplies. They bought Mark a bike. At 18, I moved out, working at a cafe to fund design school. Mark's college graduation got a party. My diploma got a nod. I finished school at 25, starting freelance design, earning $800 a month. Dad barely noticed, his focus on Mark's engineering career. That rejection made me tougher. After school, I met James at 26, a kind carpenter who saw my worth. We married at 28, renting a cozy apartment. I grew my design business to $1,200 a month, and James supported me building furniture on the side. Dad visited once, leaving an old sketchbook. "Keep this," he said, his tone gruff. I stored it in a box, unopened, thinking it was just clutter. Mark's calls were rare, always about Dad's pride in him. "You're the spare," he'd joke. I saved his messages, a quiet record of their neglect. Last year, I designed a logo for Dad's company and he smiled, "Not bad." Mom pulled him away, frowning. After that, things got colder. The dinner replayed in my head. Dad's words, "You've been a disappointment," stung deep. I'd worked late on a project hoping to impress him, but he saw my career as a failure compared to Mark's. James drove us home, his hand on mine. "We'll figure it out," he said. I cried, feeling lost. This morning those 3 calls woke me, then 2 more. I didn't answer, but the number worried me. I called my friend Lily, a designer who'd always backed me, and told her everything. "Check that sketchbook," she said. "It might mean something." I recorded her voice, feeling a bit steadier. I pulled the sketchbook from the box, its pages yellowed and crinkled. Inside were my old drawings, a letter in Dad's handwriting, and a company receipt. The letter said, "Hannah, this is yours," but the receipt showed a payment tied to Dad's name. Lily suggested digging deeper, so I started a vlog, standing my ground, teasing my find, and it got 70 views. I posted on Twitter, "Kicked out but rising," and it got 100 views with comments like, "You're brave," lifting me. I saved them, my hope growing. Kept going. I spent $40 on a magnifying glass to read the small print, finding a contract and Dad's signature on a hidden deal. The receipt hinted at money Dad owed me for my logo work, but it wasn't clear. Lily reviewed my recordings, urging a family update, and I wrote a short message. I tweeted, "Unpacking my past," hinting at family slights, and it got 180 retweets. Comments said, "Keep fighting." I saved them, my voice building. At a design fair, I met an accountant, Mr. Patel, who offered to check the deal. My vlog views climbed to 130 and I felt a change. My work mattered even if my family didn't care. The tension began. Mark texted, "Dad's upset. Come back." His tone felt fake, my chance nearing. I said no, focusing on the sketchbook, gathering clues. The accountant's help cost $60 and I shared it on Twitter, getting 250 retweets with comments like, "You've got this." I saved them, my courage rising. This morning those calls hit 5. Mom left a voicemail. "We need to talk, Hannah," her voice shaky, my moment arriving. I arrived at their house with the sketchbook, nerves steady, ready to face Dad's coldness. But what I found would shock them. They wouldn't expect my strength, and I was ready to show it. The family meeting's icy silence still clung to me as I drove home with James, Dad's glare and those growing calls replaying like a puzzle I had to solve. I woke up each morning in our cozy apartment, the sketchbook and magnifying glass on my desk, signs of my hidden unraveling and rising family tension. The family's rejection, Dad's harsh words, Mom's silence, their sudden calls, had started to shift, and I was ready to uncover why they needed me, turning their dismissal into proof of my worth. The path ahead felt shaky, but I was determined to stand firm. The days after the meeting brought some progress. Mr. Patel, the accountant, helped me decode the contract for $250 and my search gained momentum. I kept the papers in a folder, a shield against family doubts. I texted Mark the news. I found Dad's deal, but he replied, "Drop it," with a scoff. I saved it, my resolve strengthening. James pushed me to face them and I started planning my next step. I posted on Twitter, uncovering my father's secret, and it got 500 views with comments like, "You're strong," lifting me. I saved them, my online support growing. Mom called, her voice trembling. "Come back, Hannah. We're worried." I stayed calm. "Why now?" She hesitated. "Just come." I hung up, calling Lily, who said to record our talks. I logged a call with Dad, who grunted, "You're causing trouble," his doubt pushing me forward. I signed up for a business course to understand the contract, practicing what to say to the family, my words getting steadier. I tweeted, "Rising from rejection," hinting at family wrongs, and it got 800 retweets. Comments said, "Keep going." I saved them, my voice building. At home, my unraveling took shape. The contract revealed a $20,000 payment Dad owed me for my logo design, hidden to favor Mark's projects. My hands trembled as I read it. The sketchbook showed a note from Dad admitting the debt, but it was unsigned. I wrote it down and Mr. Patel confirmed the amount, my hope rising. I vlogged, finding my value, teasing my find, and it got 350 views. A friend, Ms. Carter, offered to mediate with the family, my reach widening, but I kept it quiet, saving it for the right moment. The tension grew. Mark texted, "Dad's furious. Come explain." I didn't reply, focusing on the contract, gathering proof. The course gave me a certificate and I shared it on Twitter, getting 1,000 retweets with comments like, "Business boss." I saved them, my confidence climbing. Lily invited me to a family lunch. "They're scared." "Bring it," her tone firm, my time nearing. The family lunch happened at a quiet diner with George, Susan, Mark, and an aunt there. Over coffee, Dad started, "You're making this up." Mom added, "Come home, Hannah." I stayed calm, showing my folder, certificate, contract, teaser, note, hint. "You owe me $20,000, I said. The room went quiet and I played Lily's voicemail, "You're onto something." Their faces changed, Dad's frown, Mom's unease, but the full truth stayed hidden. My discovery deepened. Mr. Patel found Dad had diverted company funds to Mark, explaining the calls. I tweeted, exposing the family debt, sharing my rise, and it got 1,500 retweets. Comments cheered, "Show them." I saved them, my voice growing. Lily drafted a family talk plan, holding it ready. The lunch ended with Mom's soft, "We didn't know," a crack in their wall, but no full apology, leaving a question. The next family gathering, a tense dinner at their house, loomed. I arrived with James, clutching my folder. Mark greeted, "Dad's losing it," his tone low. Mid-dinner, James stood again, his voice clear. "This ends now," he said. The room froze, Dad's face paling. I smiled, feeling his support. The moment passed and I saw their stunned looks. Mom's wide eyes, Dad's tight grip. Their rejection had hurt, but this hinted at respect. The dinner marked a turn and I waited for their next move, apology or admission, with careful hope. They wouldn't expect our stand and we were ready to take it. The dinner's stunned silence still echoed in my mind as I drove home with James, his firm stand and Dad's pale face replaying like a turning point. I woke up each morning in our cozy apartment, the contract and sketchbook note framed beside my design tools, signs of my hidden reckoning and shifting family tension. The family's stance, their shock, my growing resolve, their shaky calls, had reached a breaking point, and I was ready to confront them, turning their rejection into proof of my justice. The path ahead felt intense, but I was set to reclaim my place. The days after the dinner brought real progress. Mr. Patel confirmed the $20,000 debt, proving Dad had diverted company funds to Mark, with financial records to back it up. I kept the statement in a safe, a shield against old lies. I texted Mom the news. Dad owes me $20,000, but she replied, he didn't mean it, with regret. I saved it, my determination growing. James urged a family meeting and I planned it carefully. I posted on Twitter, facing my father's fraud, and it got 2,000 views with comments like, you're a fighter, lifting me. I saved them, my online support widening. Dad called, his voice gruff. Stop this, Hannah. I stayed steady, it's about fairness. He snapped, you'll ruin us. I hung up, calling Lily, who said to go public. I recorded her advice, her voice giving me strength. I finished my business course, earning a certificate, and practiced my family talk, my words getting bold. I tweeted, justice over favoritism, hinting at family betrayal, and it got 3,000 retweets. Comments said, expose them. I saved them, my presence building. At the accountant's office, my reckoning deepened. Mr. Patel presented the records showing Dad's $50,000 misallocation to Mark, my payment buried. My heart raced as I saw the proof. I noted it down and he gave me a $400 audit fee refund, my standing rising. I vlogged, reclaiming my worth, teasing my journey, and it got 600 views. Ms. Carter arranged a family hearing, my story spreading, but I held back details, saving them for the right time. The tension rose. Mark texted, Mom's begging. Meet us. I answered, with proof. He agreed, tomorrow. I focused on the hearing prep, gathering my statement, certificate, and refund. The course gave me a workbook and I shared it on Twitter, getting 3,500 retweets with comments like, business queen. I saved them, my reputation climbing. The family meeting loomed and I arrived with James and Ms. Carter, feeling calm. The family meeting took place at a neutral conference room with George, Susan, Mark, and an uncle there. Over water, Dad started, this is nonsense. Mom added, we're family, Hannah. I stayed calm, showing my folder, $400 refund, certificate, financial records. You stole my work, I said. The room tensed and Miss Carter spoke, the records confirm it. Hannah's owed. Their faces shifted, Dad's glare, Mom's tears, but the full reaction stayed out of reach. My reckoning spread. The hearing scheduled a review and a local business group offered free mentoring, valuing my fight. I tweeted, from outcast to owner, sharing my rise, and it got 4,000 retweets. Comments cheered, incredible stand. I saved them, my voice loud. Lily drafted a family apology demand, keeping it ready. The meeting ended with Mom's shaky, we didn't see this, a crack in their wall, but no full surrender, leaving a gap. The next family gathering, a tense brunch at their house, became my moment. I arrived with James holding my proofs. Mark greeted, Dad's denying it, his tone low. Mid-brunch, James stood again, his voice steady. Pay her or we go public, he said. The room froze, Dad's face reddening. I added, it's fair. The moment passed and I saw their stunned looks. Mom's gasp, Dad's silence. Their rejection had cut deep, but this promised accountability. The brunch marked a turn and I waited for their next move, apology or action, with careful hope. They wouldn't expect our power and we were ready to claim it. The brunch's tense quiet lingered as I drove home with James, his bold demand and Dad's silence replaying like a hard-earned victory. I woke up each morning in our upgraded apartment, the $20,000 check and sketchbook note framed beside my design desk, signs of my journey from rejection to resolution. The family's old dismissal had turned into something new, regret, respect, a fragile peace, and I was ready to embrace it, turning their harsh words into a story of triumph. The path had been rough, but we'd made it and my heart felt full. The days after the brunch brought a wave of success. The court finalized Dad's $20,000 debt, ordering payment within 30 days, and James's stand strengthened my case. I kept the check on my wall, a reminder of my fight. I texted Mom the news, it's settled, and she replied, we're proud, Hannah, her tone warm. I saved it, a weight lifting off me. James suggested a family reunion and I planned it, wanting closure. I posted on Twitter, from outcast to victor, and it got 4,500 views with comments like, incredible journey, lifting me higher. I saved them, my online community growing strong. Dad called, his voice softer. I was wrong. Can we meet? I smiled. Yes, Dad. Mark texted, sorry for the silence, and I felt a tear in my eye. I called Lily, who cheered, you've won, Hannah. And I recorded her voice, a treasure of support. I decided to give back, donating $5,000 to a design scholarship, hoping to help others. I updated my vlog, rising from the fall, sharing my rise, and it hit 1,000 views. Comments said, inspiring strength. I saved them, my voice reaching more people. The family reunion came together at a community center with George, Susan, Mark, and cousins there. Over tea, Dad spoke first. I owe you an apology, Hannah. Mom added, we misjudged you. I stayed calm, showing the check, court papers, and scholarship plan. This is my future, I said. The room felt warm, and I played Lily's voicemail, you're a star. Their eyes shone, Dad's nod, Mom's smile. My story finally accepted. I handed out scholarship flyers and they clapped, a new bond forming. My resolution kept growing. The apartment upgrade cost $8,000 and I launched a design studio with $3,000 profit, hiring an assistant for $1,000. The scholarship fund reached $15,000 with donations, and a local art group asked me to speak. My vlog views climbed to 1,500, and Twitter buzzed with Hannah's triumph. I met a mentor, Mr. Evans, who offered business advice, my influence spreading. The bank offered a $30,000 loan for my studio and I shared it on Twitter, getting 5,000 retweets with comments like, Design Queen. I saved them, my impact clear. Lily helped plan a studio opening and I felt ready to lead. The studio opening became my big moment. I arrived in my work apron, standing tall with James by my side. Mark greeted me, Mom's changed her tune, his voice kind. Mid-event, Dad approached, his eyes wet. I was jealous of your talent, he said. You've earned this. The crowd cheered, lights bright. I smiled, thank you. He handed me the sketchbook, a peace offering, and the family clapped. I saw their faces, Mark's hug, Mom's tears, Dad's pride. Their rejection had cut deep, but every step, every sorry, every cheer had healed it. My fight was about proving myself, not breaking them. After the event, we sat in the studio. Mark brought old family photos saying, Dad's been bragging about you. Mom added, we'll support your work. I shared stories of my first design and they listened, amazed. The scholarship hit $20,000 and I planned a workshop. My vlog got 1,800 views with comments urging, keep creating. I saved them, my journey inspiring others. James squeezed my hand, whispering, we did it. If you've been pushed down, this is for you, rise up. Share your story below. Subscribe to Revenge Tempest for more triumph tales and hit the bell for updates. Until next time, build your dream.